Hello, this is Unlimited Splash, where we get better at Magic together through a new draft every day, and today I'm jumping into another Pick 2 draft of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Let's go. Alright, pack one, pick one. I do not, among all the mythics in this set, I think this is definitely one of the weakest. It's a 4/4 for 4. It has to be blocked if able, which can be a way of picking off some smaller creatures. And the second ability is really not very relevant. When it's dealt damage, add some red stuff. I think it's mainly like a commander kind of a card, maybe. I don't even know if that's good in commander, but it's definitely not that good in limited. The card that I really want to experiment with more than anything else is actually Everything Pizza. Look, my channel is called Unlimited Splash. I love splashing. And this card, when it enters, you search your library for a basic land, reveal it, put it into your hand, then shuffle. And then you can sack it, and target player gains 3 life and draws a card. Each of your opponents discards a card. It deals 3 damage to any target, and you put 3+1/+1 counters on a creature. Now, there's a question about what do I pair this with? What else do I take? I'm actually strongly inclined to just take a dual land to go with my Everything Pizza, because that already covers 2 of the pips. And look, I have played entirely by the rules in this set. It's a 5 archetype set where I have been taking only cards that go into one of those 5 archetypes pretty much because I was just trying to learn the rules of the game. Now I kind of want to have some fun. Look, there's an Arena Direct on the weekend, so I'm definitely trying to get better at the set and prep for that Arena Direct. But can't we have some fun along the way? Here, I'm going to take Death in the Family, because when you are messing around like this in the Unlimited Splash way, you need to have cheap interaction. Just like it's a rule of thumb in Cube, having cheap removal is just sort of the cost of entry. If you're messing around a bunch and you're splashing a bunch and playing a bunch of slow, dirtily dual lands, you need to have a good suite of cheap interaction and cheap removal. Now, I will say, don't try this at home. This is not my recommendation for how people should draft this set in general. Probably you should just try to draft one of the 5 archetypes almost all of the time. But hey, we're Unlimited Splash. We haven't done the splashing thing yet. Let's get splashing. Okay, Karai is a good one in a sneak deck, and you can get up to a lot of shenanigans with Karai. My only question is, would I maybe rather have something like Primordial Pachyderm? I do think green is most likely to be a primary color in this splashing deck, and Primordial Pachyderm seems like a really good one for just stabilizing you. I've had my eye on this card a lot as a piece for slower and more controlling decks, where it's a 4/4 for 4 that has reach, and when it enters, it gains you life. I think I'm going to try to take the Pachyderm as a way of stabilizing myself. Here, I'm very much on the train of the Omni Cheese Pizza, and then maybe I can take Karai's technique. You know, I'm not in a sneak deck, and it does look like the sneak lane is open. This is a pretty nice removal spell to have, but its mana requirements are pretty stringent. So actually, I'm wondering if I just take the Squirrelinoids instead, because this again can help me just survive into the late game, and the mana requirements are really easy to meet. Here's a nice removal spell. So basically now I'm thinking I'm kind of in the Jund colors. I could take this removal spell, and then maybe I don't really want Mouser or Action News Crew. Neither one of those is a very good card. And I don't really want Foot Ninjas either. So I'm just going to take all of the removal basically, and we'll see where we land. Here, I guess I'll take, see, I don't want any of these cards really, but Raphael is probably the most likely for me to end up playing. So again, do not try this at home, everybody. Do not try this at home. We have no idea what our colors are, and we are just having some fun. So I'm going to take this Foot Elite, and we are going all in, absolutely all in. I love Koya. So if I take Koya, maybe I'm less likely to end up in red. So I kind of want to take the Foot Headquarters to make my mana really good. And I'm really hoping to see more multicolor payoffs after that. But Koya going with the Foot Headquarters really does work out, right? Because I take this Koya, I take the Foot Headquarters, that lets me pay my mana costs for Koya. Novel Nunchaku is really good as well. I kind of just want to take all the dual lands and basically set myself up for a situation where whatever the best cards are that I see, I can play them. I will say, I have not seen any Frog Butlers, which is a bit of an issue. This deck really wants Frog Butlers. Here I'm going to take Ragamuffin Raptor because this is a very powerful late game play. And then maybe another Omni Cheese Pizza, honestly. It's a little bit, it does risk getting to the point of being a little bit too much dirtling. So I could perhaps take a Zoo Escapees. Leonardo, this is not the Leonardo deck. Okay, I definitely want the Ragamuffin Raptor. Yeah, maybe I will just take the Omni cheese pizza. The thing about that is you definitely do want things that interact with having extra foods lying around, things that can sacrifice. But maybe I just take the 2-drop, honestly. 2-drop in a color that I'm pretty confident I'm in seems probably better than a card that doesn't affect the board. Courier of Comestibles is an absolute dream because it can search up everything pizza. I'm all over that Courier of Comestibles. It absolutely cements me into green, so I'll take that. And then there's actually 2 Primordial Pachyderms in the set, which is really nice. So I'll take the Primordial Pachyderm, and now I'm thinking I'm in Abzan. It really looks like I'm in the Abzan colors. Here, you can reveal a land, so this can help fix my mana. And then maybe I just take Leonardo. He can sneak for a bunch, but he's also just a Savannah Lion, so it can help keep me alive. I think I want that more than the guac and marshmallow pizza. It just feels ridiculous to even say guac and marshmallow pizza in the context of drafting Magic cards, but here we are. It's 2026, and what can you do? All right, so I'm definitely taking Uneasy Alliance. Very happy to have an extra little bit of removal. I have pretty good access to white mana. And then, yeah, I guess I'll just take the generic mediocre 3-drop. So basically, our game plan is curve out and try to find everything pizza and win. That's our game plan. Here I'll take, sure, this random white card seems fine. Maybe I'll just take the white 2-drop. So we could be base green-white, which is not really a color pair in the format. We're having fun, again. This basically became an episode of my famous patented series, Going For It. And when you go for it, sometimes you get wonderful, wonderful rewards. Everything pizza is fantastic. That's exactly what I'm looking for. Another everything pizza. Note these guys are not even legendary, so I could just keep playing everything pizzas. And yes, we're primary green-white. I'm not at all a believer in Raph and Leo. Shredder's technique is really good, though. It's just 3 mana, destroy target creature, but easier to cast than Murder, which has been hit or miss in previous sets. So I'm really between Shredder's technique and April O'Neil. Now, I do have a lot of removal, right? Okay, so maybe I actually do take the good 2-drop here. I think I'll take the premium 2-drop over the premium removal, just given the collection of cards that I have currently. I'm not sure if that's correct. Okay, Escape Tunnel is going to be a nice pick for us. And then what else do I want? Maybe another Squirrelinoids would actually be kind of nice. Let's see. So how do you even win off of everything pizza? Target player gains 3 and draws a card. Each of your opponents discards a card. This artifact deals 3 damage to any target. So it's really about putting 3 counters on something, drawing a card, and dealing 3 damage. Yeah, okay. Now, can this help fix me? Not really. I'm not even that in need of fixing, actually. So I'll just take the Escape Tunnel. We're going to be playing one of Island, probably another everything pizza. Okay, so we actually successfully cleared the way. I wonder if I can actually afford to splash a Donatello. No, I think what I'll take is Rocksteady. It has Forest Cycling, and it's a nice goal for me. So here's an everything pizza. Cut the Omni cheese pizza. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is actually exactly a playable land count. So I'll definitely take Rocksteady, and maybe I cut. Probably Make Your Move is not good enough. Take another Michelangelo, and I guess I could put a Mutant Chain Reaction in the sideboard. I don't really want to play Henchbots. I had high hopes for that card, but it's just not good. Maybe I'll cut the Action News Crew. I don't really need a million 2-drops. My ideal turn 2 play is in everything pizza. And then I can take double Punk Frogs. This is not a good card. You don't really want to be playing this card, but there's nothing else for us in this pack. Understated 5-drops. Yeah. That's not really where you want to be. I'd rather have Jenica that makes me an extra card, Ragamuffin Raptor that basically makes me an extra card. Rocksteady's not the best either, but it's definitely better. All right, then I'll just take the 2 possible playables in my colors, and hey, we really went for it. I didn't get the payoffs that I would have hoped. Usually when you cut this aggressively, the multicolor splashing lane, you should get like some random mythics pack 3 or even pack 2 that someone else cannot play. And that way you get to have some kind of payoff for all the different colors that you're playing. So I wish we had gotten some random like amazing blue bomb. Actually, our power level overall is very low. Like our win conditions are like Rocksteady. I don't even know what else. Really, it's just Rocksteady, right? Wow, that's really bad. Yeah, we just didn't see the power that I would have liked to see as a payoff for this kind of strategy. But hey, we're gonna have some fun. Even if I go 0-2, honestly, I won't be happy. But to be honest, like when you're going for it to this extent, this is just a learning experience. We're in an off color pair. I don't even know where my fancy island went. We're in an off color pair, and we are doing our very first experience with splashing around a bunch in this format. So I'm going to go down. I can go down on green because I don't even actually have the green base mana fixing like the frog butlers that you would usually want. Oh no, what's happening? Arena froze. Okay, that's okay. Okay, so we will see if having a mana base like this and 3 different everything pizzas is a path to victory. Let me tell you, I didn't know that this was true at the beginning, but this definitely turns out to have been an episode of Going For It. In Going For It, I'm not making the picks that are necessarily going to maximize my win rate. My channel is called Unlimited Splash for a reason. I love splashing, value cards, build-arounds, shenanigans, and you know, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, it's been a pretty fun format in my opinion. I'm liking Pick 2 Draft a lot more than I expected, but you can't expect me to take every single draft completely seriously, can you? So I'm gonna keep this hand, why not? I don't have my main colors, but I can play my Squirrelinoids, Death in the Family, and my Uneasy Alliance, so hopefully we just find one of our 3 everything pizzas pretty soon, or, you know, just some forests, and we should be okay. Yeah, so this is definitely a don't try this at home draft. Hey, if we go 0-2, we go 0-2. That's just how it goes sometimes. All right, well, go ahead and play another tap land. We can almost rip off our everything pizza. Unfortunately, we're just missing green mana. Now, a problem is green is one of the primary colors of our deck. So a little rough to be missing the green mana there. But now there is a question, do I just block this? And I think yes, I have 4 removal spells essentially, 2 Squirrelinoids, a Death in the Family, and an Uneasy Alliance. I'm not really in the mood to just be taking 1 trillion damage every turn. So I think it's fine to block there. And then I think I'll offer this trade as well. Partly because it lets me flash in a Leonardo. And then, oh, it actually doesn't matter. It actually doesn't matter. Okay, I'll just let this land. The thing is, if I play the Leonardo, I can't actually cast Leonardo, cast Squirrelinoids, and then keep up Death in the Family, which would have been the advantage to sneaking in the Leonardo there. So hopefully I draw an everything pizza. That would be my dream. Draw everything pizza, go ahead and find a forest, and then get to crack the everything pizza. When it enters, make a mutagen token. If 1 or more +1/+1 counters will be put on a creature you control, you put that many +1. Okay, I'm very glad that they gave me the opportunity to just get rid of this guy before they could crack their mutagens. They don't have a hexproof trick, do they? Oh, there is a hexproof trick. Okay, well, that's very annoying. All right, nothing to do about that. It actually gets 2 counters because of the Leonardo ability. Yeah, we're in big trouble. We're in big trouble. And, oh, wow, seriously? What's going on here? What do you have? Another, like, indestructible trick or something? This is really unfortunate because my Uneasy Alliance on Leonardo could exile it, but then they can just... Oh, it comes back? Oh, that's perfectly fine. You just lost your counters. You lost the counters that are on it. That's fine. Okay, they basically traded this for a Squirrelinoids. Oh, they do get a mutagen token, so now they can crack 3 mutagens. Yeah, the thing is, I can't exile Michelangelo and cast the Uneasy Alliance in 1 turn. So I could put the Uneasy Alliance on Michelangelo, but then they could just put 3 different counters on the Insectoid Exterminator in the meanwhile, making a 1 million, 1 million in the air. So I'm in very, very, very big trouble here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play this guy, and I'm just going to ask them to commit to putting a bunch of counters on the Insectoid Exterminator, and then I'll Uneasy Alliance that guy. And then we're just going to hope that Michelangelo can't go off too much more. But yeah, I'm in big trouble. They had a really nice build around, and they had the protection for it exactly when it mattered. If I can get an everything pizza, maybe I can play it and pop it in the same turn. I think it looks like I could. And then I can maybe destroy Michelangelo. That would be like my way out. Okay, let's see what they've got. Some kind of sneak? No. So they're not going to pile a million counters on the Exterminator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I draw land, I could actually Uneasy Alliance and exile Michelangelo. So if I'm them, I'm definitely going to try to make use of my Michelangelo this turn. And by the way, I decided not to block because, like... Or no, sorry, this thing doesn't even have reach, but I wouldn't have blocked. Because it's... Interesting. I wouldn't have blocked because they seem to be representing threats, like, over and over again. Okay, phew. that's very lucky for us. So put this on this guy. I do think that they shouldn't have done that, and they should have just taken advantage of Michelangelo's ability while it's still there. Because every turn, you're just giving me an opportunity to get rid of your bomb, right? Okay, but now it's time to get some everything pizzas. This is the issue with our deck, and how the going for it really did not pay off this time. I'm supposed to see, like, good cards pack 3. When you go for it, you're supposed to see the good cards pack 3 that nobody could play in their deck because they're in a more narrow lane than you. That's how going for it actually ends up being good, but we just didn't see that at all, period. Okay, so I guess I can Ragamuffin Raptor. Ugh, I wish I could bring back a everything pizza. Where's my everything pizza? Come on. Okay, I think I want the Punk Frogs. Each creature you control with a counter on it can't be blocked by more than one creature. So actually, I probably just want the Squirrelinoids. So I'll play the Ragamuffin Raptor, grab the Squirrelinoids. The reason I want it is because it can block the Michelangelo profitably, whereas none of my other creatures can necessarily kill that Michelangelo. Like, if I bring back Punk Frogs, it takes me another turn to play it, my entire next turn, and then they can just put a mutagen token on their Michelangelo, and then it's a 5/5, and my Punk Frogs die in combat with it. I'm having fun. I don't think my deck is any good, but I just kind of wish I'd seen those payoffs, you know? Not seeing the payoffs pack 3 was really a disaster for us. All right, obviously I'll just chump block this. I can't take 8 every turn. It does cost me in my Leonardo stats. This Scry return has been really good. I don't think this is a good card, but it's doing amazing work for them here. Okay, everything pizza, let's go. Are you kidding? What? Oh, you can't reveal a food. Somehow I thought that you could reveal a food. Oh, that's so bad for me. I don't even get a creature, and I would have drawn my everything pizza next turn. Oh, that's so bad for me. That is so bad for me. Oh, that is so bad for me. All right, in for 6. I'll take a bunch of damage next turn, but I have them almost potentially dead. I'm just going to sack this escape tunnel to try to thin my deck a little. I really want to draw an everything pizza, please. So if I tap the everything pizza, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I guess maybe another island would be nice. No, I need another green in case I draw Rocksteady, right? And that doesn't disrupt everything pizza-ing. Where have you guys been? Come on. And Courier of Comestibles could find me everything pizza. Okay. Yeah, I want the green. Well, let's see. I mean, if they play another blocker, then they can attack with both. They can deal 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 damage on the board here. So any pump spell would kill me. That's just the price of doing business. Now they do get to attack with everything. Playing defensively, interesting. If I were them, I might just attack with everything, but I'm not really sure why they're not attacking with Michelangelo. I mean, you're the beatdown. I don't even have you dead to a removal spell. What you have to think about in this situation, here's why I disagree with how they played this. What you have to think about in this situation is, how would I lose? And the way that you would lose is, I need a creature or a pump spell and also a removal spell. And this is just hopeless. So I guess I'll just hold this and not do anything. So there's no reason to play So Chicken. Like, you're trying to hold back Leonardo, but Leonardo is only a lethal attacker with the Ragamuffin Raptor if I also have another creature and a removal spell somehow. So I would probably have to draw Divination into, or Leonardo's Technique, whatever it's called in this set, into the into a removal spell and a creature, right? And that's how you would lose. Super edge case. So why not just attack with Michelangelo? I would be dead here. And then I also have to ask, why didn't they pop the mutagen tokens onto the Insectoid Exterminators? I would also be dead here in that situation. Does the Pachyderm save me? It actually does, right? If they don't crack another mutagen token. Now, let's just put it to them to actually kill me. So I should have been dead kind of both of the last 2 turns, I think. Or 2 different ways that I would have been dead last turn. Turncoat Kunoichi, they just wanted to show off. Okay. All right, on to the next one. I know I'm sitting here critiquing their play while losing badly to them, but that's just magic, right? Okay. But respect to my opponent, anyone can critique my play, obviously. It's a very hard game. So my deck is like not functioning at all, right? We have to do some work here. I'm going to cut this Action News Crew and put in mutant chain reaction. Yeah, I kind of wish I had just gotten like any payoff for this line. Cowabunga was horrible, so I guess I'll play another Punk Frogs, and let's go like that. Yeah, I kind of wish I had gotten payoffs. Usually when you draft 3 colors, you will see the mythics and the rares pack 3 that other people could not play in their deck, and we just didn't see that. We saw no power at all in the second 2 packs. But okay, here we go. Everything Pizza is in our hand. We have enough to play Death in the Family and Rocksteady. So, hey, maybe this will be a better one for us. So we have white, black, but they're on the same land. So you can't tap for both at the same time. Blue and green. So I think I'm inclined to get red. It's more likely... I guess I'll play my Forest and play this. Am I playing 2 islands? I only meant to play 1. Okay, no, they just applied my my special colors to this. Okay, so it's to this island. It's more likely that I draw a plains than that I draw a mountain. A plains or a swamp than that I draw a mountain. So I better go grab a mountain. All right, our deck is doing it. Our deck is doing it. Our deck is doing it. The only issue with the Everything Pizza, the only problem, there's just one problem with Everything Pizza. Otherwise, it's a perfect card. The problem is it's face up. They get to see what I'm working towards. And it does cost 7 mana. That's another minor complaint that I have. I don't want to reveal that I have the island unless necessary. So I'm going to try to hold that one until I don't have a choice. Obviously, any turn I can play a land I'm going to, because I'm trying to hit 7 lands, which is a lot of lands. This card can attack. I'm not afraid of blocking, though. I don't think there's any trick for 1 red that I can think of in this set that would punish me for blocking here. I don't think so, right? There's a 2 red trick that gives +3/+0 and first strike, something like that. Okay, they could just mutagen it, but then they can't attack. Interesting. All right, I guess I'll play the plains, get myself a little bit closer to unblocking on my Everything Pizza. Game 2, I love Primordial Pachyderm. I think this card is like so annoying to play around. And yeah, we only need to draw 1 more land and we can actually fire off our Everything Pizza. I mean, yeah, 1 more land and 3 turns, yeah. So target player gains 3, draws, each of your opponent discards 3 damage to any target. So it could be a 1, 2, 3 for 1 by you drawing, them discarding, and dealing 3 damage. And it already got you a land, so it's not even for 1. Okay. When it enters mill 2, draw 2, then discard 2. Okay. When it becomes level 2, return 2 artifacts from your graveyard to your hand. Okay, so they can discard some artifacts and get them back. At the beginning of combat, put 3 +1/+1 counters on an artifact? Are you kidding me? And it can become a... Wow, that's a really strong card. That is an issue for me. It's a very strong one. Youch. Okay, and is it an artifact? No, so they still can't attack with the Mouser, but they must have drawn a land now, right? No? Oof. That's tough. Okay, I'll go ahead and play a Forest, and I guess I'll just attack with the Pachyderm, might as well. They can't even attack with their Mouser, so I don't see why I wouldn't. Whenever I do, you know, critique an opponent's play or offer some corrections, it's entirely in the vein of we're all trying to learn here. The whole goal of my channel is getting better at Magic together. And every time you play a game, it's an opportunity for you to get better by figuring out what went wrong in your own play. And I'm always, always doing something wrong. Obviously, this is not the most winningest draft anyone has ever drafted. But at the same time, so you can always learn from your own play, but also every time you play someone else, that's an opportunity to learn. And sometimes it's because they don't play well, or you know, they play well but they make a mistake, and then you get an opportunity to learn by watching what didn't go so well for them. But very often, and you need to have your mind always open to this, very often your opponent plays like amazingly, you know, and does things that you never would have thought of, and you really need to be attentive to what the decisions that your opponent is making and their motivation for it, both narrowly because it'll help you win that game that you're in, trying to figure out what they're thinking, even online, but especially in paper as well. But also a lot of the time, they'll just do things that wouldn't have occurred to you, and you have to question, like, are they onto something that I wouldn't have realized? So like, for example, people online broadly in best of one queues are way more aggressive than I am. They'll attack in situations where I would never attack. And often I think they're wrong, but at the same time, it has made me a better player to watch that and see people being really inclined to attack in cases where I never would. And then I actually believe I do play a little bit too defensively. So that has made me ask myself, like, do I actually have an attack here? And I should be more inclined to think that I have an attack than I currently am. So it's always intended in that vein of just everyone constructively learning from each other and getting better. Never trying to be harsh on somebody. All right, dropping down a rock steady. And yeah, and we have a pretty nice setup here because next turn we get to crack our everything pizza. It did require our opponent getting stuck on lands, but I will also say our opponent seems to be playing, I think, like almost 50 cards, basically pretty much everything or most of what they drafted. That's not everything that they drafted, but they maybe have 7 or 8, depending on how many lands they have, 7 or 8 more cards from their pool in their deck than I would. So they do need to be playing commensurately more lands, right? The rule of thumb is you rarely want to have more than 40 cards in your limited deck. And with those 40 cards, you usually have 17 lands. You can look up this guy, I think his name is Frank Carson, who does a bunch of combinatorics to do with Magic, really intricate, really interesting stuff. And I'm worried that Frank Carson is someone else, but his name is something like that. You can fact check me in the comments. Okay, making your Omni Cheese Pizza creature, interesting. And that's about where you want to land. So you have to have more lands if you're playing more cards, right? Okay, so I can actually activate everything pizza, and because I can, I have to. So I'm going to sacrifice this. I will blow up their Omni Cheese Pizza. So I want to gain 3 and draw a card, please. I want to deal 3 to your Omni Cheese Pizza. I'll put 3 +1/+1 counters on Leonardo so that it can attack. And yeah, sounds good. All right, we got to do it. We got to do the thing. This is pretty awesome. And they cannot sacrifice this in response. They don't have the mana for it. They're thinking about what card to discard right now, I believe. And then we have a pretty commanding attack here for 17 damage. And a bunch of these creatures are tramplers as well. I just put the counters on Leonardo because it means that Leonardo gets to attack. Could have also put it on the trampler, but I think this is better. The Crustacean Commando, yeah, probably throws itself in front of the non-trampler. And then if I'm you, yeah, it's a tough choice. Probably I just block Leonardo with the Mouser. I don't know what their outs are. If they can just spit out a bunch of artifacts here, maybe they can get something going. All right, they settled on those attacks, going down to 2. Fair enough. So I guess I could have also done the 3 damage to them, but no, I'd rather clear the 3/3 off the board. That's better than 3 HP for them. That's at least as good as 3 HP for them because they can just throw it in front of a trampler. So I'm doing the at least as good thing by killing the 3/3. But yeah, and the rationale, in case you are someone who doesn't like following rules for the sake of following rules and you haven't heard about this before, the rationale for playing 40 cards is very simple in my view. You basically want to play 40 cards in your deck because you have to imagine that you can rank the cards in your pool. And this is not like always true, but by and large, you have to imagine that you can rank the cards in your pool from best to worst. So imagine ranking your best card, second best card, third best card. This is not obviously a perfect model of Magic cards, but just as a thought experiment, you know, all the way down to your 23rd best card, right? Okay, Sewer Valence Cam tapping something. Then you would reach a 24th best card. If you include that, right, so you have 23 cards in your deck and 17 lands. And then you're imagining, should I put my 24th best card in my deck? The reason you generally shouldn't, or usually shouldn't, is because putting that 24th best card in your deck actually makes it less likely that you're going to draw your first best card, your second best card, your third best card, and so on. So you're diluting the average quality of your draws. Now, obviously, there are edge cases. There are cases where your deck is like a turbo mill deck where you're just going to lose if you don't have that extra padding in terms of library size. There are other ways of thinking about Magic cards, like you might have synergies where you can't really rank your cards from best to worst. This would be a very rare edge case, but you know, I don't know, maybe for whatever reason you can make a compelling argument that this 24th card is actually going to improve the overall quality of your deck because it gives you extra tutor targets, another creature of the same creature type for some tribal creature type that really matters, something along those lines. I typically wouldn't believe that, but, you know, people might. Another reason is just experimentation. I know some people early in the format like to play 43, 44 card decks because we all have limited gems. You don't just get to do infinite drafts all the time. And so if you really want to try playing with a bunch of different cards in your first like 5 drafts in a format, then yeah, might as well like put an extra few cards in your deck just so you have a chance of playing with them. Although I never do that for the simple reason that then I get a lower probability of trying out the other cards. So I actually don't think that totally makes sense, but okay. So we have a choice here. Everything Pizza, which guarantees us our 3rd land. April O'Neil, which pretty much guarantees us our 3rd land. Or Courier of Comestibles, which I would put at the bottom behind those two. I'm going to go with April O'Neil because it's a creature. And it can pretty much hit land number 3. And with land number 3, we're probably not going to play Koya anyways. We're probably... Looks like she's going to get exiled. Okay, -2. We're probably just going to play an Everything Pizza. So... Okay, perfect. I like this a lot. I'm going to put the 3-drop to the... Probably to the bottom. Because I can probably go straight to a 4-drop. Or Courier of Comestibles plus another Everything Pizza. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So yeah, I'm going to go Foot Headquarters plus Everything Pizza next turn, probably. I could also set up a turn 4 that's just double Everything Pizza. That would be pretty fun. It's nice that Ragamuffin Raptor has a target now. So they're in a Grixis deck. Maybe like blue-red artifacts splashing for removal. Kind of interesting. Okay, so I'll play the tap land. I'll play an Everything Pizza. And I have black, white, green. So I need blue and red. I think I'd rather have the blue because it helps me play my Punk Frogs. Yeah. That makes sense to me. I would like to save Koya to make her a hard removal spell. Although I could also flicker this to get another Everything Pizza. That's pretty awesome. Flicker your Everything Pizza to get another basic land. That's pretty cool. Maybe that's what I want to do. Okay, so I'll play an island, Courier of Comestibles, find an Everything Pizza. They don't have counter mana. There is a cancel in the set, but they don't have access to it. Play the Everything Pizza and get a mountain. Oh yeah, this deck is going off. I still don't think it's a good deck, but this is how I envisioned it. We are absolutely going for it. I'm loving this. This is so much more fun than 4-0ing with some boring deck. Casey Jones is such a good one. That is such a good card. The kind of a card where your opponent plays it, they don't even have to do anything and you immediately feel like you're losing, but it actually looks like they just straight up whiffed. So it looks like it's not the most focused artifacts deck. Okay, I was thinking that if they put this on something, then I can Koya it. I'm just going to take the damage. But actually, I cannot. That's not really Koya-able. Because they would get to do their whole thing again. So they're you know, look at the top 4. So probably what I'm going to do here is Uneasy Alliance on Casey Jones, Mutant Chain Reaction on nobody during their turn. Destroy target artifact does allow me to target this, right? I always get confused when they have a bunch of modifiers. Okay, so I'm going to play Mountain that they know I have, Uneasy Alliance, the Casey Jones, and pass to their turn. I don't really want to attack. And, you know, sometimes you're in a situation where you can have to fire off a removal spell on your turn because if your removal spell doesn't resolve, then you're just in huge trouble. I don't think we're in that spot because I can chump block. Oh, this is only a sorcery. I thought it was an instant. I'm sorry, folks. These removal effects are usually instants. Complete blunder on my part. 100% a blunder. Not what I was trying to do. These spells in a lot of sets are instants. This is my first time playing with this one. That's a really bad blunder. A really bad blunder. This type of card is usually not very good in draft, but this is a situation where it could definitely be pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and kill that nobody. Darn. So bad. This turn I would be playing Jenica. I mean, who knows? Yeah, they probably would have just done their tutor, right? Oh, that's so bad. I could play Koya and flicker and Everything Pizza. How good is that? Play Koya and flicker and Everything Pizza so that I can just get it off next turn, rather than saving Koya as a hard removal spell. Nah, I think I want to maybe just cycle Jenica at the end of their turn, play the land, and then I can remove a creature if they play something really good. That could be good. Let's see what they play. Baxter, Stockman. Okay. Play your Baxter. Resolve. Pass. Resolve. Pass. Okay. Now, end of your turn, I am actually going to plane cycle this Jenica. I have bigger plans. Play the planes, and then I can crack in everything pizza. I'll gain 3 draw card, deal 3 damage to Baxter. Oh, wait, I actually don't want to do that because I can't even put counters on right now. Okay, so that's a good point. I would like to put some counters on something. So do I just do this removal spell instead? I think that's fine. Koya can block, and I can actually Ragamuffin Raptor to bring back my Koya. So rather than popping everything pizza with no target, let's just go ahead and permanently kill that Baxter. And I'm glad that we tapped correctly there. That could have been really dangerous. Yeah, but now we're pretty on the ropes. I wonder if they're just going to sack their Tunnel Rats to equip the Shredder's Armor. By the way, I don't think that this card is good. It requires so much commitment. Okay, I'll just take the 3. Okay, it requires so much commitment to just be sacrificing so many creatures. All right, put a bunch of counters and everything. I wonder if they have a removal spell here. If they do, I don't really mind because I can always Ragamuffin Raptor my Koya back, and it's not like the everything pizza ability fizzles. Okay, whoa, we got an anchovy and banana pizza. That's really good. Play this and draw and gain a life, and then yeah, going for 5. 5 is a lot of damage. All right, everything pizza is a pretty good card. So actually, okay, that was really good because that's my other green source, which means I can play Michelangelo and let's say Ragamuffin Raptor. Do I want my third everything pizza? Of course I do. Of course I do. So let's go in for 5. Oh, this is too sweet. This is too sweet. This is awesome. So Ragamuffin Raptor, bring back. Oh, I could bring back this everything pizza and not even have to take the other one out of my deck. This just gets me a whole extra everything pizza. Yeah, I don't hate that. I think let's do this. Play the everything pizza. Go ahead and get, I guess, a swamp. No, I guess maybe another forest is good because everything costs so much green. Play the forest, and then let's go ahead and put a counter on the Raptor, I guess. I could have saved that to buff Michelangelo, but I'm at the point where I can play Michelangelo and pop an everything pizza in one turn. Yeah, I could just take that damage. All right, so now I'm going to pop an everything pizza because I'm representing lethal. 3 damage to a target, put 3 counters on this guy. We are going for it, my friends. This is going for it. They cannot bring back the Tunnel Rats because it is... it comes back tapped. They can't bring it back and block. Exile a creature from your graveyard, create a token, make a copy of a token. Oh my goodness. That looks like a good one. I'm glad that we didn't get hit with that. So they were stuck on black, actually. If they had double black, they could have played the Anchovy and Banana Pizza and that Mythic Saga. So we got really lucky with their mana not working out. All right, let's go. So the good thing about Pick 2 Draft as well is I've actually now made my gems back almost. Like I paid a 900 gem entry for this silly, silly draft, and I already got 800 gems back. So let's go. Let's see if we just can't keep winning. All right, this is a heck of a hand. Career of Comestibles into Michelangelo. Yeah, really bad misplay, by the way, that I did last game with Mutant Chain Reaction. Really nice. Really important for me to know about that. I swear in previous sets, this has usually been a instant speed ability. So my bad. Really good for me to know that before the Arena Direct. Let's go ahead and grab an everything pizza. Action News Crew is going to get some beats in for sure. It may actually enable some sneaking, so I'm a little scared about what's going to happen here. Okay, we didn't get snuck on, so that's the good news. Oh, they may be stuck on 2 lands. Okay, so that's interesting. I want to save this escape tunnel for Michelangelo. So maybe I just play the Michelangelo out. And then basically next turn, I can do Zoo Escapees plus Everything Pizza. Everything Pizza finding a mountain or whatever, and then play the Zoo Escapees. Okay, they found a tap land. This is convenient for me. Not that I'm rooting for them to have issues with their lands, but it is convenient for me. So I'm going to get a island. Island is more flexible in my deck than mountain. Go ahead and play the island and then play the zoo escapees. Next turn, we can start doing escape tunnel stuff. I actually want to play escape tunnel specifically next turn because it'll set me up for Rocksteady the turn after. I actually want a swamp, don't I? No, I didn't think about that. Should have gotten the swamp. Somehow I thought that I had black mana under control, but I don't. That's where all my frog butlers went. It's your fault. Okay, not really. Okay, I'll go ahead and play the escape tunnel. I'm so tempted to Koya my everything pizza, but I don't think that's what I'm supposed to do. Artifact, enchantment, or creature with flying. So I can play this now because I can destroy my own everything pizza. Yeah, no thanks. All right, so I sack this. Go ahead and get a swamp. And I'm the control deck, right? I'm the everything pizza-er. So I'm perfectly happy to just sit on my hands here. I do wish I had an untapped swamp so that I could death in the family whatever they play. But if they attack, I'm enthusiastically blocking. Oh man, it's this guy. Yep, wish I had death in the family up. So that was definitely me getting punished. But okay, hopefully the damage is limited. Yeah, super punished for finding the island because I could have exiled Michelangelo in response, then next turn played Rocksteady. Attacking. Interesting. Do I just take or do I trade here? Honestly, kind of want to trade. Kind of just want to trade. I don't anticipate needing to grow that guy too much. Oh, Primordial Pachyderm is such a good draw because it gives me something to do. So first, let's actually attack with the Zoo Escapees before we give them any info about what else we're planning. Okay. Away goes that guy. I actually get a mutagen token back for that. And I don't think that this is a game where it's going to matter that they get to bring this card back. A little unfortunate to not be able to spend that that removal spell on the Frog Butler, because Frog Butler is what's addressing the fact that they're choked on lands, but that's okay. I think exiling this guy is really important. That guy seems so strong. I haven't gotten to play with it yet, but what a strong card. Okay, Tainted Treats, getting a food, that's fine. It looks like they specifically are going to go off when they hit 5 mana. Oh, I'm going to trade in a heartbeat. Are you kidding me? Isn't your whole problem not having enough lands? I'm really surprised by that. Okay, it's Koya time. Do as I say, not as I do. Oh, what? Oh, I thought it could flicker an artifact. Okay, I'm learning a lot. I'm learning a lot today. I thought it could flicker an artifact, everybody. Obviously not what I was trying to do. I thought Koya could flicker an artifact, folks. My bad. This whole time, I was operating on the assumption that Koya could flicker everything pizza to get me an extra land. If I had kept that Courier of Comestibles around, I could have flickered the Courier and gotten another everything pizza. I'm not a believer in this card, but this might be one of those situations where it's actually not so bad. But just compare this card to Rocksteady. Okay, you know what? Everything I did was 100% intentional. You thought that I was a total fool, but I'm actually just sneaking my Koya. But actually, I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to play Rocksteady. Kind of want a Forest Cycle with it, but I really need a mountain specifically. So yeah, maybe I shouldn't have traded my Courier of Comestibles. The thing about Bebop and Rocksteady, it's such a high price to pay to be allowed to get your creature into combat, discard a card, or sacrifice a permanent. Yes, it has a lot of stats, but at what cost? And hopefully, if all goes well, I'm about to just trade it for a Squirrelinoids anyways. So let's try. Yeah. All right. Come on, Mountain. Let's go, Mountain. Okay, Dreg. Lord Dreg. A permanent did leave the battlefield. Dang, I'm getting totally stuck, but do I honestly just Mutant Chain Reaction Lord Dreg? I kind of think that's better than just developing my own board, because look, now I'm pushing 10 damage. Oh, even more. I'll put the counter on Koya, probably. Give them just, you know, spread out my threats a little bit more, basically. In with both. Makes sense that they chump block. And then actually I think I will play Leonardo. It's a pretty annoying one to block. And I feel like just having more threats on the board. Like imagine if I draw my mountain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So imagine if I draw my mountain next turn, I can rip off everything pizza and put 4 counters on Leonardo. You're just setting ourselves up for something really good. Yeah. All right. I played that game perfectly. No notes. Zero mistakes, zero issues. I think in my mind, I merged the fact that Koya can flicker courier of comestibles to get me another everything pizza. I merged that with, oh, I can just flicker everything pizza. That's absolutely not true. So good lesson for me to learn. Didn't do it in an arena direct with a bunch of gems on the line. So no harm, no foul. We ended up winning the game. We have had our opponents get mana screwed a lot. I will note that has been a crucial ingredient of success, but every ingredient is an ingredient in the everything pizza. So that's just how it goes. It's the name of the game. All right. Courier of comestibles into everything pizza. That's the dream. That is the dream. I don't even see how we could lose. I do see how we could lose, by the way. There are many ways that I could lose. Courier of comestibles. Let's get an everything pizza. Oh, yeah. It's happening. And they're immediately like, okay, how many lands? Like, what have you got? Okay, so for the everything pizza, okay, I think I actually do get a blue here because, oh, actually, no, let's give ourselves one more turn to draw well. So I'm going to go ahead and play a land. I'm going to attack with the courier. They'll block with the crustacean commando, but I kind of just feel like putting it to them to make the block. And then I'll put down April O'Neil. We've revealed that we don't have a combat trick, but oh well, too bad. I do want to draw a forest because that actually fixes me into black. And then I'll play the everything pizza, right? Drawing a forest means I can activate green and black at the same time. And it means I can play my punk frog. So forest is a good draw, even if it's a bit of a weak next turn. I'm ahead on the board right now. I mean, I guess they could just put a counter. Okay, they could just play a 2-3. And I'm not really ahead on the board anymore, but okay, that's fine. I'm not an aggro deck, right? So I think I'll actually go ahead and find a island. Yep, I'll go ahead and find my island and play it. Find an island and play it. And then I actually do want to save this Koya to flicker courier and get another everything pizza. Probably my turn 5 is just going to be play punk frogs to not get run over, because they might be about to make something big. Although I do have a death toucher, so oh, maybe not. Let's go ahead and play the green. I guess maybe I really should save the removal, right? I can do Koya next turn if need be. Basically, the idea is next turn, if I'm on 6 lands, I really want to guarantee that I'm going to hit my everything pizza. If I draw my 7th land, no worries, whatever. I don't have to spend my Koya. But if I don't, then I can flicker the courier, play the other everything pizza, hit land 7, and I can guarantee getting off an everything pizza the next turn. I am still sad that I didn't get good mythics and rares pack 3, but our deck proved to have the power when we actually find the everything pizzas. This is actually a good card. There have been sets like March of Machines, which I'm planning to play a lot of next week when they put it on Arena. There are sets where the 5 mana spell is like a really bad payoff. In this one, the 5 mana payoff is really good. This is the second time that our Punk Frogs has gotten hit with a Stomp by the Foot, sacking a food or mutagen token. I really like that. It makes me think a lot more highly of the Punk Frogs, actually. Okay, because that's just such a bad deal for the opponent. They have to spend their whole turn 5 sacking something to deal with my turn 5. I guess it's a kind of an even trade, but okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and play the Ragamuffin Raptor. I almost could attack with Squirrelinoids, but there's just no good reason to. The reason is 1 through 4, 5, 6, we don't need to reveal that we have the 7th land and spend our Koya. I'd rather just have some extra threats lying around that the opponent has to think about, rather than and also having a removal spell in my hand. So it just seems nicer to just do normal development. We drew our 7th land. The advantage that drawing our 7th land gives us is now we don't have to invest resources in being able to pop our everything pizza next turn. All right, and folks, we are off to the races. I still might want to do it, actually. All right, so I'm going to give myself 3 life and draw a card, 3 damage to Slither Encrypted, 3 +1/+1 counters on April O'Neil. I still might want to do it because having an everything pizza might just be better than exiling one of their creatures, to be honest. Okay, they discarded a Metalhead. Oh, that's a good get for me. And then in with these 2. This guy does have Menace, but I would just take the damage if all that happens. Leaving April O'Neil alive. That's really interesting. Why would they block the smaller creature? Oh, they don't want me like flickering it with Koya or something like that, maybe? They deal 6 damage, the red common that deals 6 damage, maybe? Okay. Metalhead is going to bounce April O'Neil. Yes, bounce. I should have thought of bounce. No, that's a really good point. Do I want to just get rid of that Metalhead? Interesting turn here. Kind of want to just get rid of Metalhead. He's so out of control. I wouldn't mind having another everything pizza, but I think we can just win through normal magic now. So let's just get a flyer and get rid of their best bomb. Go to combat. I might as well attack with Squirrelinoids because I don't anticipate them having a good attack here. Could flash in Leonardo, interesting, or ninjutsu it in. Go to the end step, and I want to keep that exiled, please. Metalhead is such a good card. This card is unreal. But it has nothing on everything pizza. Just kidding. It's probably better or similar. All right, what have you got for me? Trinket 123. What have you got for me? An ice cream kitty isn't going to do it. Well, maybe it will. It can draw you things that can do it. You're going to sack food. That makes sense. Or a mutagen, sorry. That makes sense. Digging. Yeah, I mean, they have time to dig, right? They're at 15 HP. Oh, yeah, let's go. That's the best possible draw. All right, I'm going to go ahead and grab another forest, I think. Yeah, forest sounds good. Go ahead and play it. I guess I'll attack with Koya. Maybe Koya and Squirrelinoids. Surveillance cam, okay. All right. Yeah, they have time to dig, 15 HP. I don't have that much stats on the board, but we're about to stats up this board, if you know what I mean. Now, do I just flash in Leonardo? That's kind of cool, right? Kind of like that. I think it is time. I guess I should have played like Pachyderm before combat if I was going to do this, clearly, but kind of like the idea of just pushing damage here. Then play a Squirrelinoids and play a Pachyderm. Yeah, should have played the Pachyderm first. They would be at 11. My bad. I need to think about that more. If I'm going to flash in Leonardo, I need to be playing more stuff pre-combat. The reason that I don't think about it is sometimes I just don't realize that flashing Leonardo is actually what I want to do. Like there, I was like, let's just go to attacks and then we'll play Rocksteady. This card has been a little bit better than I expected it to be. I thought it would be terrible. It's been a little bit better. Usually Boomerang is not good. Just pure like instant bounce target creature or unsummon is not good in Contemporary Limited. But because you're basically like 1 for 0ing yourself because they're going to replay it most of the time. All right, I will just pop my everything pizza. Might as well. I love everything pizza. This has been awesome. There's no way this guy's getting flickered anymore. So this has been awesome. This has been totally awesome. But the thing is, this does actually seem to give you enough extra stuff that it's worth it. Oh, I wish I'd gotten that before so that I could play it. But yeah, this has been like actually pretty good because it actually just gives you an extra, the bespoke bow. It actually just gives you enough extra, I think. It becomes relevant in the late game. There's also like the 2/2 that in artifacts helps you activate abilities. Okay, what do you do? Verminister. Verminister? The Verminister? Okay, I don't know Ninja Turtles lore at all. So I'm encountering some of these names for the first time. If a permanent left the battlefield, make a 1/1 and put a counter on it. Sack 3 rats, return a creature, and all creatures from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped. Okay, I think we win though. So what I'm going to do is tap white and a green, playing everything pizza. So I have Wubberg here. We are absolutely unlimited splashing. Right here, right now, it's happening. Oh, yeah. I can't believe the triple everything pizza deck got there. So, and we almost hit diamond on our everything pizza shenanigan run. I actually want to check the leaderboards because I remember I was doing pretty well in the Premier Draft leaderboards. So let me check those and then we'll do like a little bit of deck tech. All right, so if you don't know 17 Lands, this is a client that you can download. Really useful. It like saves your previous drafts and stuff. And it also has some various data sets on card like win rates and this kind of a thing. And they also keep this leaderboard, which can tell you like who has the most match wins in a set, who has the highest win rate and whatever. I think my high this format was hitting number 17 on this leaderboard in terms of win rate. But if you go down to right now, oh, hey, there's Sirkovitz, who's like a famous data wizard of 17 Lands data. And here I am, 8 points behind Sirkovitz, who, you know, I've got to climb and get, but I'm a 0.9% win rate lower than him. But I'm number 34 right now on the 17 lands win rate for a leaderboard for win rate in pick 2 draft of Ninja Turtles. So I have a ways to climb. Dropping a game here didn't help that much. But I will say, you know, a few things to say about that. Number one, I'm only Platinum 1. Like, this person who's a little bit lower than me, but they're Mythic number 32, yeah, that's more impressive. And dang, it's so impressive that, sorry, I'm not sure I let you see all of that, but this person is like Mythic 32 and almost as high up as I am. So obviously maintaining a win rate at high Mythic is a lot higher than at Platinum. This person is actually Mythic number 1 and is number 2 on the leaderboard. So huge props to I Love Lamp, who I think is also a well-known, really, really good player. But you know, hey, I'm a humble streamer. I just do what I can in the time that I have. Lord Tupperware as well. But yeah, I would love to maintain my win rate and climb even higher on this leaderboard as time goes on. So I'll be keeping an eye on that. But yeah, cracking the top 50 is pretty nice. I would love to climb back to number 17. I'll also say I have played a bunch more matches than a lot of these people too. So this might be closer to my true win rate than some of them. But for other people, like, yeah, I Love Lamp is on another level for me, clearly. But hey, we had a ton of fun. We really went for it. What worked in this deck was having the everything pizzas and then a way to tutor them. I would have loved another career of comestibles. Our removal package was absolutely crucial for us. Those Squirrelinoids saved me from some pretty hairy situations. Koya was really nice as a way of, I know I screwed this up, but it was good in theory, like flickering the courier to get another everything pizza. Ragamuffin Raptor, the fact that this can bring an everything pizza back from your bin, that is totally awesome. The Punk Frogs took multiple like turn 5s from my opponents, and the Pachyderms are exactly as good as I thought they were. Also really liked having Jenica there. So these all performed really nicely. I liked having Jenica there to Plane Cycle. That actually turned out to be really useful. Zoo Escapees, Michelangelo, Leonardo. Okay, this is part of the removal package. That was really good. April is just really good. All of these cards, Zoo Escapees, Leonardo, double Michelangelo, Leonardo, the other Leonardo, those were all absolute filler. By the way, my mana worked perfectly fine. I had no mana problems. Even the game when I started out with green, it just got fixed in time. And that's because I had so much fixing going on. Every single one of these cards is fixing. Even the courier grabs me a pizza, which fixes me. So, but these 5 cards on the left, if I was going to try to take this to the next level and get a little better, I would want to go back to my draft and drill down on like, why did I end up with 5 pieces of filler and no rares and mythics from pack 3? Where really, when you have this much fixing, the person to your right might be in red, black. The person to their right is in green, white. So every blue rare should be coming to you from 2 or 3 packs. That's the whole point of investing in a splash early in the draft, is you get to play whatever bits and pieces come to you pack 3. So I would really want to know why that didn't happen in this draft if I wanted to kick this up to the next level and try to hit number 33 on the 17 lands leaderboard. So I'm going to be taking a look at that. But tomorrow I'll be back with another pick 2 draft, trying to climb even higher and higher on that leaderboard and prepping for this weekend's Arena Direct. Until tomorrow, have tons of fun playing Magic, everyone. And as you saw in this draft, you should not be afraid to splash.